Welcome to Pratham Science Academy classes, and we are about to start with the set 5 of 2024. So this is set 5 of 2024, and this is subset 1 of set 5. So let's start with the first question, which is of section A, and this section has 20 MCQs, that is 1 markers. And the function f is defined from real to real numbers, which is f of x is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 5, and we have to check it for injective and surjective. So injective is also called 1 1, and surjective is also called onto. So that means we have to check this function for 1 1 and onto. Now this function is defined from a domain that has all the real numbers. So domain is real number and codomain is also a real number, and the function is defined as this function is f of x is equal to x square minus 4x plus 5. So let's check it for injective first, which means 1 1. So I'm going to check its validity for injective, which is also called 1 1. And for this, I'm going to take two elements in the real number, that is the domain. So let x1 and x2 be two real numbers that belong to the domain R, and let's say the image of f of x1 is f of x1 and the image of x2 is f of x2. So if x1 has a different image f of x1, x2 has a different image f of x2, then this function is an injective function. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to equate these two. So if these two are equal, so that means these two are not different, but these are also equal. So that means every unique image has a unique element in the codomain. So let's say if f1, I'm going to suppose this, if f of f1 if is equal to f of x2. So f of x1, we can get this from function. So just replace x1 in place of x. So which gives me x1 square minus 4x1 plus 5. This f of x2 is x2 square minus 4x2 plus 5. Okay. So 5 and 5 can be eliminated. So this is x1 square minus x2 square minus 4x1 plus 4x2 is equal to 0. And this is a square minus b square. I can write it as a minus b into a plus b minus 4 into a minus b. Okay, so if I take x1 minus x2 common, I am left with x1 plus x2 minus 4. So the product of two numbers is 0, so that means x1 minus x2 is equal to 0. So this means x1 is equal to x2. So in this case, if the images are same, then that means the elements in the codomain are also same. That means each element has a unique image. But let's also discuss this case. So in this case, we are getting that the function is 1 1, but it should be true for every case. So let's take this one, and let me put, let's say x1 is 0 or 1. Let me put x1 is 1. So if I put x1 is as 1 here, which gives me x2 is equal to 1 minus 4 is negative 3, which gives me x2 is equal to 3. And if I put, let's say x1 is equal to, I put here 3. So if I put 1 as 3, okay, if I put x1 is equal to 1, which gives me x2, and if I put x1 is equal to, let's say I put it as 0. So if I put x1 is equal to 0, which gives me x2 is equal to 4. Okay, let's check the value of f of x1 in this case. So now f of x1 is, sorry, f of f1 So if I find the value of f of 1, so f of 1 gives me the function is, this is 1 square minus 4 into 1 plus 5, which gives me 1 minus 4 plus 5 minus 3 plus 5 is 2. Okay, let's check it for 3 as well. So f of 3 is equal to 3 square minus 4 into 3 plus 5. So this is 9 minus 12 plus 5, which is equal to 2. Hello. Hello. Okay, which also gives me the value 2. So that means for, because x and 1 and 3 are real numbers, so for 1 we have this image 2, and for 3 we have the same image 2. So that means for two values in the domain, for two values of x, we are getting the same value of y. So that means the function is not 1 1. So function is not injective. If you plot the graph, you will also see that for some same two values of x, you are getting the same value of y. So this function is not injective. Now let's check it for surjective. Surjective function is also called onto function. Okay, and our function is f of x. So this f of x is x square minus 4x plus 5, and f of x means y. So y is equal to x square minus 4x plus 5. Let's try to get the value of x from here. So x is equal to y plus 4x minus 5. This is x squared, which gives me x is can be positive, negative. So x, okay, it's not the value of x. So I have to get the value of x in this case. So to get the value of x, let's try to uh, get this into a square. That is a minus b the whole square. So I'm going to multiply this 4 with half, which gives me 2. So let's add and subtract the square of 2 on both sides. So which gives me x square minus 4x plus 2 is x minus 2 the whole square. This is 5. 5 minus 4 is 1. Okay, so which gives me x minus 2 the whole square is equal to y minus 1. And I can write it as x minus 2 is equal to plus minus under root of y minus 1 and x. Now the value of x is, uh, let's take 2 to the other side. So x is equal to negative 2. This is 2 plus minus y minus 1. Okay, so here x has to be a real number. So if x has to be a real number, this value should be in the root of y minus 1 should be a real number, and this is possible only when this is greater than or equal to 0, which gives me y minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, or y is greater than equal to 1. So y should be greater than or equal to 1, and y is greater than equal to 1 means y belongs to 1 to infinity. Okay, so this is now our codomain. Now this is the codomain is the real number. This is also the real number. But here, the range, our codomain is R. So codomain here is equal to R. But the range is only, this is the range. Range is only from 1 to infinity. So that means we are leaving the negative numbers. For all the negative numbers here, we for all the negative numbers here, we are not getting any value of x, such that f of x is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 5 uh, is equal to y. So here it's understood that the codomain is not equal to range, because codomain is a real number and range is only for the positive real numbers. So codomain is not equal to the range, and because for this function to be surjective or onto, codomain should be equal to range. So in this case, the codomain has all the real numbers and range is only limited to 1 to infinity. So these are not equal. So that means the function is not surjective. So the function is not surjective. So that means it's neither injective nor surjective. So at the end, the function is neither injective and nor surjective. So I have explained the process how to find 1 1 and how to check for 1 1 and on to say it's neither injective nor surjective. So option D is the correct one for this. So option D is the correct answer.